Good afternoon and welcome to the daily wrap-up, FX daily wrap-up. One moment. And you're seeing some news here. You are obviously taking a look here at the dollar peso. Got news posted that the finance minister had quit, and he posted his resignation on Twitter. This is, now you can see the 1925 is at 38% of this most recent range, which included all the tariff hullabaloo. And this is really an interesting, if you think about it, let's go and get into that. This is an interesting move in the fact that one of the things we've been looking at, we have been saying for the last 3 weeks almost, that the range we've been trading in is basically 19 to 1923.6. You can see the 1923.6 is huge. And, you know, one of the things we talked about 2 days ago is, hey, look, if we get a close below 1892, it opens a door for a move down here to 1865. So we did get that close, and the market, you know, had moved a little bit higher, but we came here and we were once again back below 1892. You can see that opening the door for a challenge. So his news comes out, and about the time that maybe some people may have got short, really give us a push. Now you can see here we made up to 1922.87. Let me take a look at this. A moment. Yeah, we just made this run up in here just right before that 1923.6. Probably a decent area, not a bad area right here. But keep an eye on that, because like I said, this 1923.6, as we've mentioned, is a huge area right here. You can see that. That's been, you know, capping this market ever since the breakdown of, you know, once we saw the tariff moves. And be just one moment. Ever since the tariff moves, so you can see here where we had topped out at the 1988, and then you know, seeing this market, you know, we made a dip below here, but basically the market was trading in between this 19 to 1923.6, and we've made a move up here. We've just paired back a little bit. We'll see what we're looking at. Be just one moment. All kinds of effing distractions. I can't tell you, dog decides to go and make a mess right before, you know, I come onto the webinar, hence a delay, and then some crazy robocall. Never fails. Like I said, Murphy's Law. But anyway, that being said, watch this 1923.6 right here. Keep an eye on it. You know, the rest of the market has been relatively quiet here. You know, you can see the euro kind of pause a little bit lower. The cash dollar index, we're still staying fairly well bid, but once again, like I said, it's quiet. I expected it to be fairly quiet today because Powell's not going to, I didn't think Powell was not going to say anything until he gets in front of which used to be referred to as the Humphrey Hawkins testimony. But we want to keep an eye on this peso here. Looking on the 5 minute, you can see right here on the daily, the key 1923.6. Also, obviously, the cable continues to drift lower. Dollar yen is still keeping his bid here. On our bias chart today, we had 0908. The big pivot is 927 that's been in place. But we want to keep our eyes on this dollar peso. Once again, if you look in here, and we're looking actually on a 5 minute chart now, I moved it, but if you look on here, I had posted that. Hold on. $19.25.2 is going to be, you can see right here. Let's pull this up. 19.25.3 is at 38%. So what we might do is, and look at this high right here. You see that? That is 19.2768. We might, what they may try and do is blast through here, take out the stops, and then we may pair back right then. So let's go and take a look here, see if we see anything on the 2 hour chart. Hang on a moment. They certainly look like they want to go and do that little pop. But just one moment. And we're looking here at the 2-hour chart. The last run up here, you can see, came right here at 1932.83. So the key levels you're looking at is at 1920. I mean, right here, we've got the 1923.6. I think they can maybe pop beyond that. Be here for one moment. Let's see here. See if they can go in and make that run up higher. Come on, guys. Let's see that pop. There you go. There you go. Out for a quick one. But 1923.6, and see, look, now, so let's watch this 1927. And remember, right here, 1930. Oh, doggone it. They just jumped in there. Holy smokes. Let's see what they do up in here. This is a very key area right here. Very, very key. They just took out the stops there. Okay, and I saw that. Nicely done. Okay, just covered that back up. So once again, like I told you, is we have this 1923.6, 1927 was on the daily, but like I said, this 1932 coming across right there was very nice there. Caught a little bit on the upside, just right now, just caught a little bit on the downside. Not hanging around, but this is a very good, this is a very nice level here, this 1932, because 1923.6 was key, as I showed you, and I will go to the daily chart. Hang on one moment. So here's the 1923.6. You see right there, I mean, that's been huge. We've been talking about that for nearly 3 weeks as we broke down and saying the market is trading in this level between 19 and 1923.6. We took that dip. So really, we had the opportunity to really, probably take some people, cause some people to have to cover that may have gotten short as we broke. Like I said, if we got a lower daily close below 1892, really opened the door for 1865. So we were still hanging below that. We actually got above 1892, but then we went back below and we're probing that. So this really gave the opportunity to squeeze some people. But 1923.6 was big. So we knew the stops were going to be there. So we had 1925, and hence why we looked back and said, okay, we've got 1927, coming in here. But not when we looked on the 2-hour chart, we knew 1932 was huge. And so we just saw that, going and take that out. Right here, and look right there on the 2-hour chart, 1932.9. They took it out. Now we're kind of paring back a little bit. So really, there's your news right there. So, I don't know if some of y'all were able to go in and grab some of that. Oh yeah, look, Olivia grabbed a good chunk of that. So good stuff. Olivia, I know Blake had jumped in also. So I hope these technical levels helped you out a bit to grab some. I grabbed a little bit on, came in a little bit late, grabbed some on the upside to push for the stops, and grabbed a little bit on the downside, and making sure, they didn't get too much further behind here. But here we are, you can see here, and I'm not fooling around here, just trying to make the quick move real quick, and then wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So there we are. And obviously, this is the big mover right here, the peso. We may find some support. Remember, 1923.6 is a big level on the daily, has been a pretty good range. So correspondingly on the pair back, that would be also now 1925. And look, turns out, we just came shy of hitting the 50% of this range, which included the tariffs. But as I mentioned here, watch this 1923.6 on the dip back. So if you grab some shorts, I'm already out. But if you grab some shorts here, this will probably see the market probably come in and see a bounce from this 1923.6. If you're looking a little bit lower, if you're looking to try and buy this thing on dips, then let's take a look here. If you get past the 1923.6, then we're looking on the 2-hour chart. 194706. You see that? That would correspond right here, and we'll pull this up. Hang on. You see these nice touches coming across here? You see that? Right here, coming across here. And that would also, you see right here, bodies, and then we make the high. So look, this 19, if you're trying to buy it in a pretty good dip back, would be 194706. You see here, now we're coming back here to the 38%, right here. Because remember, the 38% of this range from all these lows here down here to 1886 all the way up to 1988, which was, you know, the whole tariff business. 1925.3, which I was saying at the beginning of the show, is the 38%. And we know about 1923.6. So if you're trying to scalp around and dance around on this thing, especially on a day like this, today where everything has been so quiet ahead of Humphrey Hawkins, but or it used to be referred to as Humphrey Hawkins. So 1923.6, if we pair back, like I said, you can look at 1947. If you don't expect it to pair back that much, and that'd be quite a bit. Let's see right here. Then we'd be looking at right there. Beauty right here. Hang on. Not, oh, not that low. Hang on a moment. Come on, folks. Right there, which would be 1918.8. So it'd be this little range, this little what do you call it, range or area right here, bracketed between 1914.7 and 1918.8. If you're trying to pick it up on the dips. But this wasn't a bad one on the way back down. I wasn't going to hang on, but because I certainly didn't want to make it have it take another jump. It's already had a pretty phenomenal jump already. But great, fantastic. The guys in the chat room, Blake, Olivier, I believe Nidish also jumped in there too. So fantastic that we're still hanging around here. As you can see here, look, we're kind of dancing around here. Wow, made some good change on that. But other than that, that's about it. I'm saying I think the rate will go now. We'll take a look here with the dollar yen. Okay, so once again, just a quick recap. Now, we had finally hit the 676. We've been looking for this for about almost 2 months or so, potentially to get there. We actually got to 678, so, you know, as they say, close enough for government work. And got this little hammer. So we kind of just danced around here, not really doing a whole lot. It's opened the door for us to move higher. Obviously, if Powell... what we may see is at the beginning, I think Powell's going to acknowledge, okay, well, there are certain strengths in the economy, acknowledging the employment. Really, the other data has not been good. But that may allow this dollar yen, which we had today, our bias chart support resistance at 908. But you can see 927 has been the big pivot. We've had this in place for months. And then you can see on the way down how that actually kept the market, held the market body close, as you can see that. So that's going to... I think that potentially that's what we can go to, and the market can challenge. And you can see here, even up to 960, if you know, depending on how Powell's testimony, I don't think it's going to be that dollar bullish, but you can't deny what's transpired. But other than that, the continued move lower here in the cable. One moment. Just a moment. And we've gone past this 2485. What we had in our bias chart, and it's actually, I think it's 127% of this most recent range. We've got 2429, and we've come down to 2439. And where we're getting at is, we'll take a look here. You see that? The 24%, 127% extension of this most recent range is 24.30. I got 24.29. 1 pip is not going to make that difference. But you can see we came within, what, 8 pips or 7 pips of hitting that. So that's what I'm looking at for our bias chart support today. This cable is something else. Dollar peso still hanging around this 38% here. And other than that, that's about it. It's been relatively quiet, other than the post 4th of July fireworks that we saw in peso. I hope some of y'all were able to jump in. Blake mentioned, yeah, he bought 25, so 20. I have to be super quick here. Oh wow, he jumped right back in it. Congrats, Blake. He said he's going to try and pick up 20, but that's here in the chat room. And like I said, it's great to be in the chat room. Got a lot of supportive traders here that, we really get that big, everybody's, helping each other out. But like I said, you may want to go and consider a 10-day subscription here with ForexAnalytix. It's only $1. We've got the analysis not only for basic technical, harmonics, Elliott wave, macro, guys, saying where they're coming in and where's the resistance and where's the support. Obviously, it's a quiet day, like I said, ahead of the Humphrey Hawk. Well, I keep saying Humphrey Hawkins, which is what it used to be referred to. But like I said, yeah, thanks to the Mexican finance minister, we got some fireworks and a few. We're able to make a few nickels on this move. I would definitely, let's take a look on a 5-minute chart before we wrap it up here. This is going to be some resistance here around this 1929, because remember 1932 was big, so we may have a tough time. We might goose it a little bit and take this out, but I think we may just decide to go on pair back, because I tell you what, one of the things that helped juice this market, and I'll go back to it again. Hang on. And you can see here, we're right here at the 38%, this 1925 3, but let's remove this. Hang on. Once again, just to put things in perspective, okay, for the last few weeks, we've been trading in this, 19 even to 1923.6, back and forth, back and forth. And we say, hey, look, if we, get past this 19, here's our support, 1892. And we're saying on Monday, hey, if we get a close below 1892, that opens the door for a potential challenge here to 1865. Well, we got that close, and we actually closed just a little bit above. I mean, we closed below it, but I'm saying is we were trying to get a little bit further higher, and we were actually higher earlier today, but we pressed right back below it and really got as low as, look at this, 1888. So the market had that potential to move lower, and I'm sure there was people that got short. So this helped fuel this move. And I think, so where are you going to get buyers? I don't think at this point. So if you're looking for buying opportunities, I just gave that to you, which was at 1914.7. I wouldn't come in until then. You'll probably see a bounce, from 1918, okay? But I think if the market's going to try and pick itself up, you'd be looking around this 1914. So I think the fireworks over, because once again, this has been fueled in part by a lot of people that may have gotten tripped into short positions as we broke here a couple of days ago. And now they had their stops above 1923.6. Maybe they said, well, I'll wait for 1930, and kaboom, they took them all out. So once again, you got to feed a bull market. Not this a bull market, but I'm saying a bull move, okay? So these guys are already gone. Who's going to buy? Who's going to fuel it? We already fueled them. So my thing would be I would wait for a move down here to 1914.7 if you want to buy it for the little bit longer haul. On a very shorter term outlook, I'd say 1918. That's all we got here. Thanks for joining us here on the daily wrap up. Like I said, relatively quiet ahead of Powell's testimony in front of Congress tomorrow. And thanks for joining us. Hope you are able to profit a little bit on this peso. Thanks a lot.